Hello, I'm Kyle from GlobeOfGeek.com. This is GoG's guide to PHP error reporting. Now, error reporting is a very important feature I thought I'd include in the series. And to start it off, I've made a file called error_reporting.php. So if you could make that open up, it'd be great. Now inside there, we're going to put our usual PHP tags. And we're going to have an echo, say, error reporting. We'll just have it say that. Then have another echo. Hey there. Now, if you haven't noticed by now, I've intentionally made an error in that code. So if you go to error reporting, oh no, T echo expecting semicolon. And as you can see, we mentioned in the last video when I was doing echo that if you miss that, you have to go check, right? So on here it says line 4. Well, at line 4 I have a semicolon, right? But this is where the error is because like this comes out of nowhere and it's wondering why I didn't end my previous line. We already know that, right? So if I were to put that away, the error would be gone, right? Well, how does PHP know that we made an error, and how specific is it? If you've ever wondered that, well, PHP sometimes decides to pick on us and give us errors on little things that we didn't even realize. Or it'll tell us we did something wrong and it'll just collapse on us and not run. So error reporting allows you to control those features. And I'm going to show you how to direct to your error reporting folder. You have to go to your, well, right now we're in GOG.php. We're going to go back a couple directories to OSC. I'm in my computer area. Go to OSC XAMPP. This is, if you're using XAMPP, this is where you go. And inside here you're going to find the PHP folder. Then inside the PHP folder, you'll look down until you see php.ini. It'll be right here. And you're going to open that up in Notepad++. I don't have it default for those types of files. And once we're in here, there's a lot of text on this page. I doubt you're going to want to read through it all to find what you need. There's a couple thousand lines. So we're going to press Control F. We're going to search for error report. That'll bring us right to what we need. So we're going to close that. Here you go, error reporting. And this is basically the section of your php.ini file that'll control what errors appear when and how touchy PHP is with you. If it's going to hate on you for little typos or if it's just going to let things fly by, right? So to start off here, we have error level constants. We have all. This basically reports all errors, and then error, it only reports fatal runtime errors. Recoverable error reports almost fatal runtime errors. There's a lot of specific stuff in here, and you can read through this if you wish. There's documentation on it galore. There's no point of reading it out loud because you most likely have the file open. What's important though is down here it says error reporting equals all. This basically means that I have it set to the all constant up here, where it's going to report every possible type of error. And it used to exclude strict, actually, strict. It didn't report those unless you said so. But as of PHP 6.0, which is coming out soon, it's going to show all of it. So I'm just going to let you guys know that. Error reporting equals all. We have it set to that. And what were to happen if we change this to 0, right? We have that error currently being displayed to our browser, right? So we're going to set that to 0. And we're going to refresh the error reporting.php page. You see the error is still there, right? You're wondering, well, I just changed this. Why is there still an error? You have to reset your Apache web server. It's going to open up the XAMPP control panel and click Stop on Apache. Just like that. Stop. And you're going to click Start again. And this part always leaves me in pain because it takes a second to load up. Oh, and that was fast. So is it loaded? Clarify? Nope. Shut off again. Okay. Start. There. It's running. Now we're going to go check. Whoa, the error is gone. So as you see, when you set it to 0, this is basically saying, no, don't give me any errors whatsoever. But since we're doing debug work, debugging is checking over, we want to get errors. We're going over our code. We're finding what we've done wrong, right? We would like to know what we've done wrong, and as many errors as possible is always good, because it's better that we get the error rather than the person using our website or whatever application we make in PHP. It's strongly suggested, though, that when your site or whatever you're making is public, do not have error reporting set to anything. Have it off. Because whatever error is sent to your user, if they see this, for example, they'll say, oh, this person messed up on their code on line 4. Okay, well, your website just unintentionally gave some information to the user. And say they were someone who wanted to cause some malicious intent on your web server or whatnot, they could use that to get information about what's happening. So just letting you guys know, it's a heads up. Keep in mind, just read through here. and have error reporting off when you're public, on when you're working on stuff. Always know the configuration. And one last thing I'd like to include in here is, say you wanted to include eall, but you didn't want to include something else. You'd put the ampersand, which is the and sign, then you put the little squiggly line, looks like that, and you put what you do not want to include. So say you didn't want to include e strict. As I said, it's default going to include this all with eall now, but if you didn't want to include e strict, you just put that, and now it'll say, in English, basically it's saying include all errors and don't include e strict. Sounds a bit malformed when it comes to how we speak in English, but that's what it's saying. So you can do that, you can work around to things like that. There's also another operator you can use. I believe this is the OR operator, and I'll explain operators later on. Like I said, read through the documentation, get to know this, because it's very good for developing reasons.